We've all dealt with rejection at some point in our lives. Maybe you've just dealt with rejection and you're feeling a little bit disheartened. Well, that's okay. I'm here to tell you that we all go through it. And in fact, there are important lessons that we can learn from rejection. So today I'm going to be sharing some lessons learned from rejection with the hopes of propelling you forward and having you continue to persevere and go after those dreams. All right, so if you're ready, let's get started. All right, so the first lesson from rejection is that you push the boundaries of your comfort zone. You were able to put yourself out there, maybe even go out on a limb and do something that was essentially difficult, right? It was taxing on you in some way. Maybe you had to learn something new. Maybe you had to go through a intense boot camp, right? You operated outside of your comfort zone. So that is a big deal. So kudos to you for that. And you learned that you were able to, maybe with a little bit of discomfort, but still operate outside of your comfort zone as opposed to just sticking to the familiar. So that's the first lesson. Lesson number 2, you are much more resilient than you think. It's true that when we're faced with challenges and possibly even rejection, even having overcome those challenges, there's this idea that we're going to shrivel up and just fall into pieces, right? But the reality is that we're actually pretty resilient despite hardships, despite rejection. And reminding yourself of that will do you a great service, because instead of wallowing in sorrow or feelings of insecurity or feeling not as confident as you would had you not been rejected, that's okay to do for a short amount of time, but don't let that deter you from pursuing other opportunities, from continuing to grow, and more importantly, from continuing to take more risks and do things that ultimately could lead to a potential rejection. But the reality is that you are much more resilient than you know. And doing something where you're challenging yourself and then maybe getting rejected is a huge deal, because that resilience will keep you strong and it will teach you so much in the way of what to do even better the next time around. And it'll just build up that thicker skin that we need in this world so that you can go out and, go after the goals and the objectives that you have for yourself. So that resilience is so key, and don't underestimate it. All right, lesson number 3, all of the prep that you did will set the foundation for the next big opportunity. So applying this knowledge and this preparation and that boot camp that you put yourself through to another opportunity is amazing, right? Because you've already been through the ringer once, and now use that knowledge and apply it to other opportunities. Maybe the job that you applied to didn't go through, but guess what? All of that prep that you did is relevant, and you can apply that to other job interviews, other potential roles in a similar industry or a similar position, right? So keep that in mind. It did not go to waste. It was not, done in vain. So having that perspective is really powerful. The next lesson, number 4, you're going to be more prepared to overcome the challenge the next time around, right? You basically reconned ahead of time. You familiarize yourself with a potential situation like this. And even though you might not have the exact same type of situation, it'll be similar. There are going to be overlaps. So definitely that reconning ahead of time will serve you well in the long run, because chances are the next challenge you rise to, you'll have to draw from the experience you had previously that ended in a rejection. Okay, but again, the teachable moments from that experience are so powerful, and they can help you pivot or they'll lead you in the right direction. And lesson number 5, this is probably my favorite one. The universe has a way of making things work. So look at this failure as a blessing and not as happening to you, but happening for you, because that rejection is important to open up the way, to open up the path for you to have success on another path, right? Even though it might not feel like that in the moment and you really wanted that opportunity or that position and it didn't go to you, it's okay. There are many more opportunities coming your way with your name on them in big, gold, bright letters. So don't forget that. Again, it's okay to wallow a little bit. It's okay to feel sad or feel the feelings of rejection. It's not easy. Everyone gets rejected at some point or another, and it's something that we just have to be able to recognize and deal with and then move past, right? So taking all of these lessons into consideration will make the next rejection not as scary and not as a big deal. Again, try to find the silver lining in the rejections. Try to find a way of, feeling okay about it and really thinking about it in terms of something better awaits me. And then putting in the work and applying the new knowledge that you have, the new life experience that you have, and allowing that to propel you forward, because the next big thing is on the horizon. Just, you have to believe in that, right? Okay, amazing. So we talked about a few life lessons that we can learn from rejection. It happens, and it's something that we can all relate to. So make sure that you keep these life lessons in the back of your mind the next time you have some news that's not that great and a rejection that happened, and you got turned down from something that you really were hoping to get. Again, it's okay. There are better, bigger things on their way coming to you. All right. All right, Explearners, thank you so much for joining me for this lesson. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please be sure to give it a big thumbs up if you're watching here on YouTube. And if you are listening to our podcast, then feel free to share the podcast with people who want to improve their social skills, communication skills, interview skills, public speaking skills, and overall have effective communication. And feel free also to sign up for our newsletter. It's free, so you can head on over to explearning.co. And you can also find our blog there with all of the lessons and all of our information there and some web courses that might strike your fancy as well. And if English is not your first language and you are hoping to improve your English language skills and communication, then definitely check out our separate channel and podcast called Advanced English. And you can check us out also on Spotify if you want to download the episodes and, listen to them on the go. All right, so I will see you in the next Explearning lesson. Until then, keep up the awesome work, and I will see you very soon. Happy exploring, everyone.